Namaskar, welcome to one more session of rural management, and the topic that we are discussing is about rural tourism. Today's the topic is about Jarawa tribe of Andaman Islands. This topic is a very sensitive topic. We got certain sensitive pictures here. Here it is being discussed only purely from the academic point of view. The entire session that you are going to see for the next half an hour is purely from the academic point of view. We are here to share the knowledge, whatever we have on the Jarawa tribe. Kindly consider that on that particular issue, and it's a very sensitive topic. Some images are a bit sensitive, so I request you to humbly to accept it as they are. So the first thing which I would like to request each one of you who is watching the video is acceptance as the tribals as part of our humanity. Let us not judge anyone. So that is with that kind of, with your permission, that you are not going to judge this entire session or the video link that I am going to share also. Please view it with lot of humanitarian concern. That is my humble request to all of you. So let us go into a very interesting topic of Jarawa tribe of Andaman Islands. Let us see what they are. The Jarawas are an indigenous people of Andaman Islands in India. They live in the southern Andaman and middle Andaman Islands. Presently roughly around 400 individuals are living right now. Largely they have been shunned interaction with outsiders because people don't understand their culture and traditions. Since 1990s, some contacts with Jarawa groups has been done. By 2000, some Jarawas have become regular. Some had regular visitors as settlements where they trade, interact with the tourists, get medical aid, and even send their children to school. The Jarawas are recognized as an Adivasi group in India, along with other indigenous Andamanese people. They have inhabited the island for several thousands years. The Andaman Islands have been known to outsiders since antiquity. However, until quite recent times they were infrequently visited, and such contacts were predominantly sporadic and temporary. For the greater portion of the history, the only significant contact has been with other Andamanese groups. There is some indication that Jarawa regarded the now extinct Jangil tribe as a parent tribe from which they split centuries or millennia ago. The Jangil tribe is presumed to be extinct as far as 1931. The Jarawas are designated as scheduled tribe in India. The Jarawas have been around for a very long time. They are believed to be descendants of the Jangil tribe, and they have been there from the past 2 millennia. The Jarawas were both linguistically and culturally distinguished from the greater Andamanese who did not survive over the years. Here if you see the image, the early colonization of by the Jarawas showed evidence there was early movement of humans through southern Asia and indicate the phonetic similarities with African groups are convergent. There is a distinct link between the African continent and these Andamanese people, Jarawas, if you see the physical features and other things also. What is surprising is how did they connect? That is what can we say, it's a mysterious part. It is very invigorating to understand how did these connect, how did these people come here. That is important thing which needs to be studied further and understood. They are also believed to be the first successful tribe to move out of Africa. Any form of evidence on the Jarawa social, cultural, historical, archaeological, linguistic support the conclusion of Andaman Islands have been isolated for substantial period of time. But in spite of being isolated, they have still survived. How? Let's know. What is their lifestyle? Their main occupation is hunting and gathering the fruits and other things. They never depend on others or on the government subsidy of any kind. Freebies, they don't depend. I repeat, they never depend on others or on the government subsidy of any kind. They hunt in the sea and in the forest for their feeding. Still, they wear the animal skin as a clad to cover their bodies. They do not like to wear the city clothes. The government and social workers distribute the clothes and try to bring them into the mainstream of the society. However, they are not accepting and agree to change their lifestyle. Slowly, it's a temporary phase. It's happening, but still we have to respect their freedom. We have to respect their choice of their lifestyle. Culture. Their language is very difficult for others to understand or learn. Their language follows 9 vowel character system and 26 consonants at the phonemic level. Jarawa's tribe physical appearance is very strong. However, they have got bad habits of taking more opium and quantity of alcohol. This particular thing touches every facet of our human civilization. It doesn't even leave the tribal people. Their surroundings were caused by diseases, so most of them fell ill and died. The subsequent made them to migrate to the western areas of Andaman Islands and made those places as their homelands. Coming to the culture aspect, the Jarawas call their hut or settlement as chhadda. The Jarawas of both the sexes go completely naked, but they wear some ornaments. A bark thick forest guard called tohe is used by the adult male members when they go out for hunting. The other ornaments worn by them are headband, necklace, armlets and waistbands. They are mainly made of palm leaves and shells. With the increased contact with the outsiders, the Jarawas have begun to use cloth items which they call kangapo. The cloth items they call it as kangapo. The Jarawas of both sexes decorate their body with face and clay. Their folk songs revolve around their material culture and hunting, fishing and gathering activities. Tova is the most popular tool among the Jarawas which they use in cutting pork to pieces. The very sad part of it is sexual exploitation of the Jarawa woman has also been reported. Tourism has been a major threat of late for the Jarawas. Indigenous tribes are our heritage to be treasured, and it remains our responsibility to help them sustain themselves in their own environments they have always lived in and not turn them into objects of tourist curiosity. Very important, very straightforward and blunt statement. For your information, I will repeat it again. Indigenous tribes are our heritage to be treasured, and it remains our responsibility to help them sustain themselves in the environment in which they live in and not turn them into objects of tourist curiosity. The message is loud and clear. Social organizations. How do they organize themselves on a social context? The social organization of the Jarawa tribes has 3 types of social units. The first one is the family or household, local group or band, and territorial group. 3 territorial groups constitute together the tribe. The smallest social unit among the Jarawas is the family, like us. Members of a nuclear family are husband, wife and their young children. A local group or band consists of several families and some individuals who camp together and move from one place to another while shifting camps. Most members of a local group are related to each other through relationships. These local groups, however, are not of very permanent nature. They often go through process of fission and fusion. The next larger social unit is a territorial group. There can be several local groups in one such territorial groups. There are certain customs governing their rights of a territorial group over its territory. Persons are free to forage within their own territory, but they are not supposed to go beyond its limit. So that these are certain things, aspects of the social in the social context. We need to understand how the Jarawas organize themselves as one social unit. Typically, the man lives for food. So hunting and food. As the Jarawas are nomadic tribe, they hunt endemic pigs, monitor lizards and other quarries with bows and arrows. They have recently begun keeping dogs to help them hunting as the Ongas and Andamanese. So this is an island tribe. Food sources in the ocean are highly important to them. Men fish with bows and arrows in shallow water. Women catch fish with the baskets. Mollusks, dugongs and turtles are a major part of the Jarawa diet besides meat and seafood. Jarawas collect fruit, tubers and honey from the forest. In order to get honey from bees, they use a plant extract to calm the bees. In order to get honey from the bees, they use a plant extract to calm the bees. Food preparation is mainly done by roasting, baking as well as boiling. However, the Jarawas also consume raw food. The Jarawas have well balanced diets, and since they exploit both terrestrial as well as aquatic resources, they can supplement with one type of food with another in case of a shortage. The Jarawas also have support from the Indian government. They receive monthly allowances by the government and also receive wages for taking care of citrus fruit plantation. Citrus fruit plantation is done with the support of Government of India. We have been supporting them from quite some time. So that is one way the government is extending their helping hand, holding hand to them, so that they can sustain in their own environment. Marriages. Though the Jarawas are strictly monogamous, subsequent marriages are common among them. Almost 3/4 of the males and females were married once, little less than 1/4 of the married persons married twice, while about 2% of the males and females are married thrice. The marriage ages incompatibility was also found among them, although to a limited extent. In some cases the husbands are younger to their wives. Among the Jarawas, the girls generally get married by 15 years of age. Only 7 girls above this age were found unmarried. This might have happened due to the death of their prospective husbands or non-availability of suitable mates at their point of time. Widowhood does not affect the childbearing potentiality of the females in this society, since widows and widowers are generally remarried. So that is the concept in the tribal culture of Jarawa about the marriages. Shelter. Though the Jarawas consider the settlement area as well as a hut as chedda, they differentiate it in different types. A small lean-to type temporary hut used by couple and their children is two-time chedda. A semi-permanent community hut can be an oval or round shaped. Such a hut can be of medium size, meant to 4 or 5 families, and it can be large, meant for 20 or more families. Such a shelter is known as chedda de hutu or chedda de tuma. Typically the image that you are seeing is a bachelor's boys dormitory where widows are also allowed to reside, is called Torkalang chedda, and a maidens or a widow's dormitory is Torkongo chedda. Generally 6 to 8 branches of locally available trees are used as supporting pillars, on which the long branches are tied with bark strips both horizontally and vertically for supporting the roof. The simple engineering construction is also done to support that. Nobody has taught them, but still nature, the supreme force called nature, which has really helped them evolve, understand, build such kind of settlement also. The sheddas. The dress and ornaments. The Jarawas do not use any apparel to cover their bodies, but in recent times some of them have been using the clothes occasionally, which are collected from different sources. All kinds of fabric, including woolen threads, are known as kangapo. Further, some of them collect clothes not to purpose of wearing them, but to make ornaments from threads. Traditionally, the Jarawas adorned them with various objects like shell, clay, leaves and flowers. Recently, they have added cotton threads and a wool to the list. Though both the sexes are fond of ornaments, it is the female folk who make it. Ornaments of the Jarawas can be divided into 2 broad types, permanent and temporary. Permanent ornaments are made of shell and cotton threads or wool, while the temporary ornaments are made of flowers, fruits and tender seasonal leaves. The temporary ornaments are mostly named after the plants from which the materials are collected. Women of all age groups are very fond of decorating them with the seasonal flowers. The Jarawas, both men and women of all age groups, decorate their face and body with clay. After eating a pig or monitor lizard, they invariably smear their face and body with clay and later make designs on it. Body decoration and painting are an integral part of their daily activities. Certain specific geometric line designs like wavy, crisscross, straight have been noticed. The designs are made freehand with the fingertips, nails, shells or wooden stencils known as tomtang. The art is there in the tribal areas. We need to explore it. We need to understand it from our perspective and from their perspective too. Now, what is the impact of the modern world on the Jarawa tribe? Previously, the Jarawa tribe was completely isolated, and because of thousands of tourists, they are no longer hostile to foreigners and are getting used to them, which is becoming a social problem for the Jarawas. The government and social workers distribute the clothes, trying to bring them into the mainstream of the society, but they are not ready to change. Fine, that's better. Let us respect them. Their language is very difficult for others to understand or learn. Their surroundings were caused by diseases. These people are very isolated and do not easily mingle with others. Now some development has been increasing gradually in their social life due to the efforts of government and social welfare societies, some NGOs. Due to these efforts, they are maintaining regular contacts with the outside world. Now, with the increased contact with the outsiders, the Jarawas have begun to use cloth items, as we said, it's Kangapo. Encroachments into their territory are threatening their very existence. Outside interaction expose them to new diseases for which they seem to have no immunity. Immunity levels are very, very low amongst them. Poachers are said to steal their game as well. As we discussed, sexual exploitation of the Jarawa woman has also been reported. Tourism has been a major threat of late for the Jarawas. Indigenous tribes are our heritage. As I said, we can't convert them as an object of tourist curiosity. Now some of them have started speaking the Hindi language. It's a good small effort to begin with. Now they are so much isolated and away from basic facilities like health, education and electricity. Their population growth is also very low. The Great Andaman Trunk Road has a great impact on their life. Now let us do an activity on the ecotourism aspects of the world's largest river island, Majuli. As you can see this particular picture, please do an activity about the world's largest river island called Majuli. Now I would request you here, the video link, the video that you are about to see is of different nature. It's of very, very sensitive nature. It has been carefully selected to show you the aspects and the cultures of the Jarawa tribe. We have learnt a lot. We would like to learn more and we would like to contribute for the collaborative coexistence of all. Thank you very much for watching this video. Jai Hind.